In this video, we're going to be talking about starting and stopping the band, one of your most important jobs as a drum major and something that you need to make sure you think through before you take the podium. So the first question we're going to ask when we're starting the band is how much prep do they need? This is informed by the music and largely informed by kind of your traditions as a band and what they're used to. So the most common starts that we have are 2 measure starts and 1 measure starts. So let's look at each of those. This is a 2 measure prep start. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they begin to play. So you'll notice if I'm doing a 2 measure start, my left hand is still during that first measure of prep. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, play. And then when I get to that second measure, that's when I'm going to bring in the other hand. This is good, I think, for faster tempos or moderate tempos because it gives them 2 measures to get a feel for what the tempo is. Ideally, they will have internalized that tempo already, especially after you've played it for a while. But that's good to start if you're starting new. Now, if you want to do a 1 measure prep, you can give 1, 2, 3, 4, play. So you'll notice my left hand was still and it was just my right. Or you can go ahead and start with both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, play. You can incorporate both of those methods to any time signature that you have. So I was doing it in 4. You can do it in 2. You can do it in 3, whatever you're working with. Now, let's also talk about stopping the band. So now we've come to the end. This is informed by the music. So you really need to take into consideration 2 big things when you're planning your release of the band. You need to look at what beat it ends on, because we don't want to cut them off before that beat. And then we also need to think about what type of release is it. Is it a gentle release from a lyrical section in your piece or your show? Or is it an articulated release that can really kind of use more of a clenching motion or a harsher cutoff like this? So typically you're going to signal that it's the end, that you're getting ready to stop 2 beats before. So let's say that I have a release on 1. I'm going to start a measure before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you'll notice I gave those 2 beats kind of with the chopping motion on 3 and 4 of the measure before. So you just need to look at that score. That's usually a common one with our releases on 1, and just plan it in advance. This is something that as a drum major myself, this is what I had to work on the most. So really take some time to do this. Run it by your fellow drum majors, run it by some section leaders that you trust. Same goes for your starting patterns, and just make sure that it's really clear to them and they know what you're trying to communicate. Now, backtracking just a little bit. If you are a band that uses whistles, this is usually going to be used when you're starting the band. Make sure you take that good breath before. Really get relaxed so you can fill your lungs all the way up, and you want to blow through that whistle so that you can communicate to the whole band. This is also something that you have to practice, something that I had to practice a lot as a K-State drum major. So really making sure that that whistle is nice and clear and you're getting to all areas of the band and you're really communicating that gusto that we're starting, here we go. That goes for whether or not you have a whistle, but especially if you have a whistle. If you have any other questions about starting or stopping your band, because this can be tricky sometimes, go to your director. They spent lots of time conducting, or feel free to reach out to any of us here at K-State that helped at Leadership Camp. We will be happy to walk you through that and figure out what can work best for you.